Hello students, so we have completed division Gymnospermae and now we are going to start with the last division of plant kingdom, that is division Angiospermae. Division Angiospermae. Angio means closed, sperma means seeds, closed seeds. The seeds are covered by fruit wall. How did the seeds become covered by fruit wall? In Gymnosperms there were naked seeds, in Angiosperms there are covered seeds covered by a fruit wall. Where did the fruit wall come from? It came from the ovary part of the flower, okay, which became the fruit wall, and the ovule became the seed. They are also called as flowering plants. Phanerogams with ovary. Gymnosperms are phanerogams without ovary. This is the most dominant plant division on earth right now with 2.5 lakh species. 5 lakh species, most dominant plant division and most advanced as well. Tallest angiosperm is eucalyptus, reaching heights of up to 100 meters, and the smallest angiosperm is as small as an ant's head. An aquatic plant known as Wolffia. For Wolffia, you know, the plant is so tiny like an ant's head, and its flower will be even more tiny. Imagine the eye of that ant, okay, so tiny. That will be Wolffia, an aquatic angiosperm. Most are terrestrial plants and few aquatic. Also, vascular tissues, which is xylem and phloem, are well developed in angiosperms. Division Angiospermae is divided further into two classes: Monocotyledonnae and Dicotyledonnae, commonly called as Monocots and Dicots. Both are two different types of angiosperms, but there are some differences between monocot angiosperms and dicot angiosperms. What are the differences? Number of cotyledons. What are cotyledons? Inside the seed, there is an embryo, the young sporophyte, isn't it? And that young sporophyte has a tiny shoot, tiny leaves, and a tiny root. The tiny leaves are called as cotyledons, embryonic leaves. Do you know what the embryonic shoot is called? It's called the plumule. Embryonic root is called the radicle. The embryonic leaves can be either one or they can be two, based on which they are named Monocotyledonnae and Dicotyledonnae. Di means what? Di means two. Mono means one. These will have just a single cotyledon. For example, the corn seed, it is a monocot seed. However, a gram seed turns into two parts, It is a dicot seed. Turns into two parts. Both those portions are the cotyledons. Okay? Even a badam splits into two. Peanuts turn into two, don't they? They are all dicots. So the number of cotyledons in monocots is 1 and number of cotyledons in dicots is 2. Root system, mostly the monocots have a fibrous root system, which is like this, and dicots have a taproot system, wherein there is a single taproot and such kind of lateral branches, not in the form of fibrous. Venation of leaves, the pattern of veins on the leaf lamina. In case of the monocots, like a banana leaf you must have seen, or a bamboo leaf, the veins go parallel to each other, don't they? Even in case of banana, there is a central vein and all the veins go parallel, don't they? Do they cross each other and form a network? No, they don't. This is parallel venation. And over here, what kind of a venation do they show? They show reticulate venation. Reticulate is wherein the veins and the veinlets form a network on the leaf lamina in this manner. This is called reticulate. Reticulate means network. This is called parallel venation, which is seen in case of monocots. Flowers. Both are flowering plants since both are angiosperms, but these flowers will be having their appendages in multiples of 3, and for dicots they are going to be in multiples of ya to 4 or 5. The appendages of the flower, that is the number of petals, the number of stamens, the number of sepals, okay, will be in multiples of 3. That is, they will have ya to 3 or 6 or 9 likewise, okay, and for dicots they will be in multiples of 4 or else 5. The flowers of the monocots are said to be trimerous flowers, and the flowers of dicots are said to be tetramerous and pentamerous flowers. What is tetra and penta, you know, no? Tetra means 4, penta means 5. Next, presence and absence of cambium. What is meant by cambium? So if you look at the cross section of monocots and dicots, in this you see that there is a cylinder of meristematic cells throughout the length of the plant body. This cylinder of meristematic cells throughout the length of the plant body of the dicots is known as the cambium, which is also called as lateral meristem. Meristem, dividing cells, which will help the plant in growing in width as well, which is present for dicots like banyan tree, like in mango. The plant grows in height as well as in width, which is absent in case of the monocots. Okay, the monocots do not undergo lateral growth. For example, bamboo, sugarcane. Okay, you must have seen them growing vertically only, not laterally. Why? Because cambium is absent in case of monocots and it's present in case of dicots. And as such, secondary growth is said to be absent in case of dicots and present in case of monocots. Secondary growth means lateral growth. Examples of monocots, we have rice, wheat, grass, bamboo, sugarcane, coconut, onion, lily, banana, barley, corn, garlic. All these examples of monocots you must remember. Why? The rest all the plants are the dicots. And there are a few more, and the popular dicots include mustard, hibiscus, rose, mango, gram, pea, etc. There are so many, but these examples are fewer, so you must remember them. Which is the main plant body? The main plant body is of course the sporophyte. In gymnosperms, they had presence of cones, if you remember, which were clusters of sporophytes, which are specialized leaves which produce spores. They are clustered into cones or strobili in case of the gymnosperms. In angiosperms, the same strobili have modified themselves into flowers. Why? Why have they turned themselves into flowers? Because the cones are ugly. Nobody comes to them. But the flower is beautiful. It's scented. Pollinators come to pick up the microspores and transfer them close to the megaspore, okay, for fertilization to take place. In gymnosperms, they had to rely only on anemophily to carry the microspores to the megaspore for fertilization process. In case of the angiosperms, they have now beautified themselves and made them into flowers. So the pollinators come and they pollinate the microspores close to the megaspores for fertilization to take place. The flowers are the main reproductive structure, which we will study in the next lesson.
महादेव के नाम पे सब्सक्राइब कर दें।